The Eyes of Love, Part 1. In the great village of Langai lived Jamila, a beautiful young lady, graceful in her movements and gentle in her voice. Though her eyes had never seen the light of day, her heart carried a brightness that touched everyone around her. To many, her blindness was a limitation, but to Jamilu it was never a reason to love her any less. Jamilu, her childhood friend, was her anchor, her safe place. Every morning he would walk beside her, guiding her hand through familiar paths, describing the world she could not see, the way the sun rose in the east, painting the sky with colors of gold, or how the trees bent and swayed when the wind whispered through their leaves. To Jamila, his words were her eyes, and his presence was her strength. At night he walked her home and whispered softly, "Good night, Jamila. Tomorrow we walk again." But deep inside, Jamila carried a silent fear. Each time she smiled at him, each time she felt the warmth of his hand in hers, her heart would whisper the same question. Will he stay, or will my blindness one day drive him away? Though their bond was unbreakable, Jamila would often sit quietly, hesitant until the words finally escaped her lips. "Jamilu, what if tomorrow you wake up and realize you deserve someone better? Someone who can see the world the way you do?" From then on, Jamila began to despise her blindness. Her prayers turned desperate. "Oh God, give me sight, and I will marry Jamilu." And every time Jamilu would hold her hands firmly and smile with the kind of certainty that only true love could carry. "Jamila," he would whisper, "you are my world. I don't love you because of what you can see. I love you because of who you are. I will never leave you, not today, not tomorrow, not ever." Those words were like a shield against her fears. Still, in the quiet corners of her heart, the doubt lingered. She wanted to believe him completely, but the thought of losing him was the shadow that followed her everywhere. Yet every new day Jamilu's devotion only grew stronger. He stayed by her side, patient and unwavering, showing her through actions as much as words that his love was not fragile, it was unshakable. Jamilu would take Jamila to the village square. He would walk her carefully through the crowd, telling her who stood at which angle, what they were doing, what they wore, or how they laughed. And so their story unfolded, a journey of love tested not by sight, but by trust. Every day in the village, Jamilu was Jamila's eyes. With her hand gently resting in his, they would walk together through the narrow paths, their steps in rhythm, their hearts in tune. Sometimes he would take her to the stream. There, under the shade of tall trees, they would sit by the water, listening to the rippling flow and the songs of birds overhead. They would talk for hours, sometimes serious, sometimes playful, gisting about the village, sharing secrets, laughing until their voices blended with the sound of the stream. Other days, Jamilu would lead her to the hills or the rocky sites beyond the village. He would guide her hand to the surface of the stones, letting her feel their roughness, their curves, their cool touch. "Can you feel it, Jamila?" he would say softly. "The rock stands strong, unmoved, like my love for you." And as she traced the edges with her fingers, he would describe the scene in colors she could not see but could imagine through his words. The wide sky above them, the way the sunset painted the land in gold, the deep shadows the rocks cast as evening drew close. Sometimes Jamilu would take her to the bustling village market. He would walk her carefully through the crowd, telling her who stood at which angle, what they were doing, what they wore, or how they laughed. "There is Jumai with her tray of oranges. That noise you hear is Malambello, grinding grains with his petrol grinding machine," Jamilu would say. "Over there is Lady, carrying a basket of yams on her head." To Jamila his voice painted vivid pictures, and the world became alive in her mind, as though she could truly see it all. And when the day was over, Jamilu would always walk her home. At her doorstep, he would pause, still holding her hand, and say gently, "Good night, Jamila. Tomorrow we walk again." And she would smile, her fears melting for a while, knowing that Jamilu's love carried her through each day. One evening, after walking her home from the market, Jamilu stopped beneath the old baobab tree near her compound. His voice was steady, but his heart raced. "Jamila," he said, taking her hands into his, "we have walked together for so long. I don't want to just be the one who guides you through the village. I want to guide you through life. Marry me." Jamila's breath caught. For a moment, silence wrapped around them, broken only by the chirping crickets. Then she shook her head slowly, tears pressing at the corners of her sightless eyes. "No, Jamilu," she whispered. "You are too good, too kind to marry someone like me. If only I could see you. If only God gave me eyes, I would marry you this very night. But like this? No, you deserve more than a blind woman." Her words pierced deeper than she intended. From that day, a change grew within Jamila. She began to hate her blindness with a bitterness she had never felt before. Every prayer on her lips turned into a desperate plea. "Oh God, give me sight, even if only for a day. Let me see Jamilu, and I will give him my hand in marriage." End of part 1, part 2. Coming next Sunday, don't miss it. Subscribe to Bow